Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back on the channel, man. Today's body cam: when a YouTuber becomes a mass killer.
That's crazy. When a YouTuber becomes a mass, ooh, okay.
That situation just happened too in Vegas. That situation. And I don't know. Did I tell you what I heard part of it? I was like, that don't make sense. But I never looked into it further to get like the premise of everything. And I think both of them had small channels, so I'm like, but I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know the details.
That's crazy though. Hey, make sure you check out the links in the description box
down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
liking it with a thumbs up.
Hey man, let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
We do have a good show for you today. Woo!
Told my wife, I said, that boy's gonna kill somebody.
He's menacing, he's evil, he's crooked, he's maniacal, he's dirty, and he kind of makes you want to punch him and kill him.
A day really wouldn't go by where some way or the other I didn't.
You know what you always say? You could tell a person by looking in their eyes.
Oh, their eyes.
Did you see his eyes?
Really wouldn't go by where some way or the other I didn't think about killing somebody. I guess too much exposure to violence had built up over all the things that I had shot and all that stuff.
He said, I just want you to know, Aunt Liz, they did not suffer. And his whole voice changed from sweet to, I made sure of that.
If anyone was going to hurt him, it was going to be me. I guess I couldn't protect him from myself.
Before the age of influencers, Mr. Anime carved out a niche with anime reviews and short films on YouTube's early platform. Beneath his persona, however, was a growing obsession. As his videos took on a darker edge, the increasing violence foreshadowed the horrific act to come. No warning was clearer or more disturbing than the title of one of his final videos, Mr. Anime is planning something.
I don't think God will ever forgive me.
In 2006, 17-year-old Trey Eric Sessler created his YouTube channel, Lens Cap Productions.
We do have a good show for you today. We're partying back there, partying up here. Woo!
Though his audience never realized it, a growing madness was slowly consuming Trey, and they had a front row seat to his slow and disturbing descent.
All right, first of all, we've changed up our table a little bit. We now have this. It's the POS gun. We destroy pieces of with it, and we're definitely gonna be destroying this after we're done with it. Yu-Gi-Oh was so bad in my mind that I just want to kill somebody.
Over the years, his videos began to show signs of a deteriorating mental state, with some reviews lacking his usual enthusiasm.
Shinji, tragic hero, experiences fear and loneliness, and I would like to challenge anyone out there that has never had thoughts of fear or loneliness in their life.
Viewers soon began to notice changes in both his appearance and demeanor, as well as an unsettling shift in content.
Oh, how you doing, everyone? It's Mr. Anime. Or you can call me Trey. You can call me the guy that does the video game reviews, or you can call me the guy that does all the gun stuff now. Basically, what I'm going to do is, and this is pretty childish and ridiculous, is blow up the couch to the best of my 9mm abilities. So let's see what we can do. Whoa.
Well, I wonder, did anyone figure out if he was intoxicated, or on any kind of substances at the time?
Like just throughout, his whole.
Was he started? Did he ever start
indulging in certain
indulging?
things?
Yeah.
Or was it just probably a mental deterioration?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be sitting on that couch right now.
Soon to be revealed are the haunting details of Trey's own confessions, most of which has never been heard before until now. It began on March 20th, 2012, when, according to news articles, a welfare check led Waller, Texas authorities to the Sessler family home, the same house that had served as the backdrop for many of Trey's videos. What had once been a stage for fictional violence had become the site of real, unspeakable carnage. In the garage, an older woman was found motionless in her blood-soaked pajamas, half buried beneath a pile of junk and debris. The very same room where Trey once filmed several anime reviews.
And though this isn't actually a horror anime, I think it is. I think it's horrid and horrible. Horrible.
Curled on the floor of the hallway bathroom, a young man lay in a pool of dried blood. The same room that once served as the set for Trey's short film, Keaton.
That looks good. Very good. You can come on in.
In a bedroom, an older man was found still in his bed, with his legs hanging over the side and his head pressed into the pillow. Each of the 3 victims sustained multiple gunshot wounds.
The only reason we're here is because the freaking police seized my property with the martial arts training center because we killed 3 people.
Nearly every room in the house reflected a violent outburst, with wrecked furniture, shattered picture frames, and holes in the drywall. Scrawled across the walls was a chilling confession, leaving no doubt the man behind the mass murders was Trey Eric Sessler. After the horrifying discovery, police tracked Trey to his friend Casey's house. Police surrounded it, arresting both Trey and Casey, who had no idea that a murderer had just spent the night at his house.
I'm freaking I don't get what... I mean, my buddy Levi called me. He was like, Casey, I'm watching Fox 26 News, and you're on there, and something about your buddy Trey killing somebody, or doing something, or trying to do... I'm like, what? And I just didn't know what to do. I'm like, what? I put it on 26. I go ahead, Trey. I'm like, dude, what's going on? All of a sudden, you know, he's like bolting out the door, and I don't even know which way he went. And he looked out the back door, and I ran around. I'm like, what's going on? And I saw lights, and then I wasn't trying to resist or run. I was just trying to get to my front yard. Then I saw all these helicopters, and I got tackled.
Both Trey and Casey were taken into custody. During questioning, Casey told investigators he had no knowledge of the murders and was not intentionally harboring Trey at his home. Although investigators were initially skeptical, it was Trey who would later reveal the entire truth. 1 month after his arrest, Trey sat down with detectives and delivered a full taped confession, revealing not only how and why he committed such a brutal crime, but also unveiling a disturbing plan he had nearly carried out in the aftermath.
You'd wanted to talk to us, is that correct?
Yeah, go ahead, ask me anything.
Is there a particular reason you wanted to talk to us one more time?
I was, I don't know if this is correct, but I was reading in some news articles that you guys are having a problem establishing a timeline. I have a clear picture.
You do?
Yes.
Before recounting the day he took 3 lives, Trey pointed to years of escalating red flags, dark obsessions, and a fixation on violence that ultimately went unnoticed.
There's just a pattern of, there's tons of opportunities where someone could have intervened, but no one did.
Friends and neighbors spoke with investigators about Trey's fascination with guns.
My little brother and I stayed over at Trey's house, and he showed us a lot of different handguns and stuff, but the one that really sticks out was an AR-15, and he had a 100-round drum attached to it, and that was kind of the one, because he mentioned that if you sprayed it into a crowd, you could kill a bunch of people, and I was just like, I felt very uneasy about that, you know.
He had a Japanese sniper rifle with extended clip, and that's when he told me, he was pointing across the street here.
Right.
He said, I could hit a person over there 300 yards or whatever, you know.
Right.
Instead of saying I could hit a deer or a dog or he said a person, you know, and I thought, boy, right then it rung. I went home, told my wife, I said, that boy's going to kill somebody.
I've heard some rumors that there are a couple people around town that aren't so satisfied with Mr. Anime Reviews. I don't know why, but I've got a little bit of inside info that they're going to be coming for me tonight. So, Be ready.
While speaking with investigators, Trey revealed a disturbing incident that happened when he was just 13 years old.
I had a CO2-powered BB pistol with me, and I took off down the road, and they sent my brother Mark after to catch me. You know, they're like, go get him. And I saw Mark coming up behind me, and I turned to him, and I started opening fire on him with the BB pistol. And I saw him kind of covering, and he took off running back down the road. So I went all the way down the road to the bank, and to my, at that time, pleasant surprise, there was a police officer sitting there at the ATM machine. I reached behind me, and I pulled the BB pistol out, and I didn't point it at him. I held it away. I was like, I got a gun. And instantly he pulled his gun out and had it on me. I threw the gun down, and he came over and apprehended me.
Did you have to go see like CPS, child, juvenile probation, any of those people?
From that incident?
Yeah.
No, they dropped the whole thing.
Many of his videos featured stage guns and fantasy killings. Fictional brutality played out for the camera.
I really gotta kill that guy.
I'm not gonna pay you.
But behind the scenes, real violence was beginning to take shape in far more unsettling ways.
I thought he loved animals like I do. You know, I just thought that he loved them, and he would never, ever dream of hurting an animal. And I guess I was wrong.
Freeze, Rat Man.
And I don't know how true it was, but they were mentioning that there was all those animal graves and stuff.
Oh, hey, Mr. Anime here. Don't mind me, though. Just doing a little bit of gardening. Nothing interesting about that.
They did have chickens here at this house, and they all died. And I don't know why. I just thought they died.
I loved this chicken to death, and this was the picture right before she got sick and died eventually.
I don't know, but he had like a rabbit, and he was real attached to it, and all of a sudden it just, like, everybody, like the whole family thought something broke in and took it, and, you know.
See, this is what puzzled us. If something got in the cage and got the rabbit, why wasn't there rabbit fur everywhere? If he took it so hard when his little animals would die, I don't know why he kept going through it and getting more and more and more. But he would always come up with another one. Always.
I swear he talks. You're just like my rabbit I used to have. You only talk when the camera's not recording. Dumb ferret.
Trey revealed a deeply disturbing incident to investigators, describing a time he found a lost Doberman and brought it home with him.
One day, I was just in a bad mood. I took the dog into the garage. I put a sheet over my driver's seat so it wouldn't scratch up my fabric with its claws. And it was just sitting there like a person. I even put the seatbelt on it. And I took it out to Snow Road, and I had a little semi-automatic 22 that I sold a long time ago. So that was, and I just proceeded to shoot the dog.
He later attempted to ransom it back to its owner, but she'd already learned it had been killed through a farmer who found the dog's remains. He then maliciously taunted her by telling her he was the one who took its life.
I was totally sober when I shot my cat. I just got home from a long shift of work, and I don't know why, but I opened the door and I had a little kitten there. And I started attacking it for some reason. I don't know why. I can't even say to this day why I did that. I grabbed the brick barrel 20 gauge that I gave to my brother, and I stuck a buckshot shell in it, and I pulled the hammer back, and I shot the cat basically like in half. I called my parents, and I told them about what happened. And
You told me you actually shot the cat?
Yeah. I told them to help me come up and clean it up, and they wouldn't come up. I called them basically yelling at the top of my lungs, like, I just shot a cat. Y'all need to come up here right now and help me clean it up. And they were like, they're like, you need to calm down, Trey. And I'm like, y'all get up here right now. And they're like, we don't want to come up there with you, this upset. And I threw the phone down and started cleaning up the trail of blood. Waller County, there's a lot of cows, and a lot of horses. I was thinking, I can easily go up to a pasture and fire a high-velocity rifle at a cow, The other cows can't rat out on me. They can't say anything.
His brutality toward animals marked the early signs of something far more disturbing, and those closest to Trey had begun to notice the cracks in his sanity.
One thing that I found a little strange, there was like I play guitar and Mark was wanting to play the drums, we were going to write music. One song that Trey suggested we write was something called The Beast in My Head. I just thought that, thought that was kind of strange, and actually I asked Mark, I was like, why do you think he wants us to write that? And he's like, maybe he's got a beast in his head.
After a chilling research paper was later discovered on his laptop, Trey began to reveal what had truly been on his mind.
When I had done all the serial killer studies, I had contemplated purposefully turning myself into a serial killer. But I looked at the requirements to be one of those, and you have to kill 3 people, and it has to be in there has to be a cooling down period in between the murders. And I just couldn't commit to that.
His studies included some of history's most notorious killers, including Ted Bundy, David Berkowitz.
Bro wanted to be a lazy-ass killer.
He said, you know something?
I can't. That's too much. I can't do that shit.
Too much work.
Lazy.
So you know what? I just be.
You know how fucked up in the head you gotta be to say I want to be a serial killer, but I looked into that.
It's too much work.
And it's just too much work.
I just be a killer, Just like what? And then you said so casually, like, hey, I don't have time for that. That little cooling down, like what?
It just shows you a bitch.
So.
Yeah. I'm a bitch boy. Weak.
And so many signs was there. You know how we always talk about, like, did this person show, like, any signs of anything? Did they show this? Like, you were harming animals.
Bro, you know
like,
how many animals?
Your whole channel was
You know how many animals that he got?
Yeah.
That all of a sudden just no longer here.
Up, and you, like, even your pet animals, and you're, like, suddenly.
And your parents you tell them about it instead of them doing something about it. And he had the thoughts as a child anyway when he pulled the BB gun and started shooting his brother. And then ran to the cop and say, "Hey, I got a gun on me." He was trying to check. He was checking temperature early. The signs was always there that he needed help. It was like he low-key was crying out for help. I'm doing these matters to let y'all know I'm fucked up in the head.
Like, it's not like I'm looking at these videos, the ones he was putting on his channel, and I'm like, this is not normal behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is about killing, like dark stuff. Like, what? Yeah.
Bro, sick.
Eileen Wuornos, Jerry Brudos, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Kip Kinkle.
I ain't never heard of have you heard of all these?
I've heard of. I feel like I've heard of one. I mean, the first one, the second one, and then Jeffrey. And then Jeffrey. I haven't heard of Jerry or Kip. No, I don't think I've heard of Kip before.
So one for sure is Jerry Brudos
or something like that.
Never heard of him. And then I want to say I heard of Kip.
I have to see. Oh, Kip. I have heard of Kip. No, I haven't. I'm lying. No, I have. Is this him? Is that the same person?
I guess so.
Maybe or maybe not. I feel like I've seen that picture before, though.
15-year-old freshman student on fire with his
in the cafeteria.
Cafeterias.
Yeah, I feel like I have.
Killing 2 of his classmates.
98. I think we have heard of that.
Is that the one we just did the body cam on?
Yeah. So yeah. I'm just not like.
No, that dude was in cop. Or was it him? Might be. Yeah. We did hear one about.
I was like, the name looking at looks familiar, but I'm not sure. And then this, Who
was the one?
David.
Yeah, I know David. Let me see.
Oh, and this is Eileen. That's Eileen, right?
Yeah.
And I know about Eileen. Yeah, but
He might have.
So these are. Yeah, I have.
This is not him.
No, but the other one is the one before that. That one up there. But anyway, so these were people that he was like looking up and studying.
Idolize.
They
go.
Yeah.
You see where they go?
I know.
Figures whose gruesome legacies appeared to fuel his dark curiosity.
The reason that I had studied all these people was because I wanted to see what their strengths were, what their weaknesses were, the number of people that were killed and injured according to what weapons they had, which weapons would be the most effective. I even graded the weapons on a 1 to 10 scale with an explanation of why I gave that grading. People like Kip Kinkle with a 22 got low scores. I know you're very familiar with Charles Whitman, the UT sniper.
Charles Whitman? God damn.
Child, I try not to know or remember these people because this is just... Yeah. What year was this?
It gotta be old because it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I was just looking at this.
Because everything is black and white, too. 1941. God.
That's when he was born.
But I'm saying 1966 when he died.
Can you scroll right here? Oh.
It don't say when he died at 25, so I guess he died when he injured 31.
That's
he's infatuated. Like, so when I look up and look into serial killers, like I try to understand the crime, right? And I try to look at like patterns.
Yeah.
I try to understand the mental behavior of it. And that's when I look at the details, look at the severity of the details, and see like the psychological impact of reason why this happened, reason why that happened. I try to look at it from a different lens. I don't be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like when I do it, I try to just understand and be like, okay, this detail, this matches.
Like
this
wonder, like, are you like trying to see like what makes some like
more of the
like,
psychology aspect,
their background or something?
More about the psychology aspect. Like low key, I want to also go to school for like either psychology or sociology. But I was like, that's just too much schooling for me, and I wasn't committed. I couldn't commit to the schooling for psychology or sociology.
Lazy.
No, because what I went to school for, graduated with, I wasn't lazy with that. But you know what I'm saying? It was just too much schooling for me. I'm not a school person.
I was just using your
Who was in the clock tower. People like him that had army training and high-powered sniper rifles got higher scores because they knew what weapons were necessary going into the crime to commit maximum damage.
In April of 2009, Trey took a break from short films and anime reviews to rant on the topic of school shootings.
What? I'm ranting on something a little bit anime unrelated. I'm ranting on all the shootings that have been happening. Pittsburgh, New York, Alabama, California. You know, they had an article that were like, well, the economy's gone bad. Everyone's losing their job and getting mad and shooting everybody. Yeah, I guess that makes sense since a lot of the shooters lately have recently lost their job. But I'm a firearms owner myself, but it is a little bit disturbing to know that you could be a victim in something like this at these times. All the people that were victims, you think it won't happen to me, but sometimes it does. But seriously, every day I open Yahoo, I'm like, well, time to see what today's shooting is, and hey, there's another one.
Trey detailed series of plans to investigators and revealed that he saved satellite images of specific locations. One in particular was Waller Junior High School.
This plan involved striking about 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. during the lunch crowd. And the idea was pretty much to somehow breach the Black Gate, either by ramming it with a car, or that was pretty much the only way to do it. And basically do the same thing that Kip Kinkle did, except instead of a 22 rifle, it would be a more high-powered rifle. A day really wouldn't go by where, and it sounds terrible, but a day really wouldn't go by that in some way or the other I didn't think about killing somebody.
He's menacing, he's evil, he's crooked, he's maniacal, he's dirty, and he kind of makes you want to punch him and kill him.
I mean, why do you think that is?
I couldn't get my mind off of it. Like,
I mean, why?
My mind would not leave it. I was doing the amateur filmmaking stuff, and it really wasn't getting me the notoriety that I was looking for.
But why do you feel you need the notoriety?
Right.
To take someone else's life to get notoriety?
I felt like it. I no longer feel that way because of what happened at my house. It was a little too traumatizing to think about.
Trey will soon describe with chilling clarity the grim horrors that unfolded inside his family home. For now, things with Trey seemed to take a turn in August of 2010 when he moved out to live on his own in Hempstead, Texas.
My grandmother passed away a while ago, and now I moved in, so I now have a new house.
He was very paranoid while he was staying at that Hempstead home by himself.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of crime and stuff, and he's always kept those guns close. Like,
I mean, was anybody after him?
No. He just...
What crime was going on? Because it could have been contributed to his... I'm just...
was afraid of somebody coming and breaking in.
I had so many locks on the bedroom door I slept at, and there would be times when I would tie the front and the back door together with an extension cord so no one could open it and get in. And there was an instance where in the living room up on the ceiling fan I had a shotgun rigged to the door to fire, pointed at the front entry hall door. But I took that down pretty fast because I was like, well, what if, my mom or my dad come in one day and accidentally open the door.
By December 2011, Trey had begun experiencing health issues, a development that left many of his viewers concerned.
But I've had a little bit of shortness of breath lately and a little bit of back pain and stuff. And I haven't been sleeping too well. My eyes are a little swollen. That's why I'm wearing these sunshades. And it seems like I've got the diagnosis of pneumothorax. So if you're religious, I would appreciate it if you prayed for me.
In February of 2012, he uploaded a video titled, Mr. Anime is Planning Something.
This is just an update video to let you guys know that I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel. I got more subscribers than ever. I have more views than ever, and everything is going really good.
This particular video was removed from his channel for unknown reasons, and many took it as a clue for the brutal act that would soon unfold. Less than a week before the tragic killings, Trey allegedly uploaded another in which he updated his followers on a positive change in his life.
The good news is that I now found a full-time job in a department that I'm interested in, which is film. I'm still going to be doing the Google thing though, and I'm still going to be doing videos. So keep supporting Mr. Anime. I'll still be doing anime reviews, but probably not as many because this job will be full-time. But thanks to all of y'all, I've been able to be recognized by some people, and I'm going to be doing some good stuff.
But whatever future Trey may have had took a shocking turn. While most news articles list March 20th as the tragic day the killings took place, first-hand accounts from Trey state the events unfolded earlier, beginning on the night of Sunday, March 18th, when he visited his family in Waller. It was then that an accidental discharge set an already troubled mind in motion.
I had accidentally fired a round off from the .22, and it hit my bed. And I believe there was a bullet hole in the bed, and nobody heard it. It had flashed in my mind that they didn't hear the gun go off, so it kind of told me I could fire a .22 in the house without it being heard.
Later that night, he had a few drinks with his brother Mark before deciding to return to Hempstead.
So he stays in the room, and I go and I get in my Mustang, and I drive to Hempstead, and shouldn't have been drunk driving, but I was. You know the drink Four Loko can? It was the old formula, and I had been keeping it for a rainy day.
After consuming the alcohol, Trey then made the fateful decision to return to his family home in Waller.
Park in the garage, and my .22 rifle's out there, and it's loaded with full metal jackets, about 16 rounds. So I go inside, and my mom's like, where'd you go? You know, because I left at like 12 at night or so. So she was like, where'd you go? And I was like, oh, I went to Hempstead. And I'm like, I'd like you to come out in the garage and look at my car bumper, because I had been in an accident about a week or two earlier. So she comes out, and she gets about halfway.
You said what?
I said, ain't that sad that you bait your mama into coming into the garage so you could take her life?
Bro, these folks sick, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like, I wonder, did they want him kind of out the house? That's the reason why they was okay with him going to grandma, living in his grandma's own home? Kind of get him up out of y'all's?
Maybe so. I was just needed, because he seemed like he was like
on the verge of like breaking, not necessarily breaking, because that's not what it is.
Or just like a problem child. Like it's just probably like always something with
the chickens, the pets,
animals, the cat, the police, because you did get, you know, but they let you go with that. Everything was dropped with that, even though they was earlier on. Yeah. Still, because I didn't really get his age.
Don't know his age now, because that's a I could look it up, but I'm trying to refrain from it.
Yeah.
But because
the only reason you don't have to look it up. I can look it up later. I just wanted to know what's his age now from the 13 incident. Like how, you know, I just wanted to know that.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like how? Okay, I got you.
Earlier, so she comes out, and she gets about halfway down the car length. And God forbid, I pick up the 22, I turn to her, and she starts to say something, but she doesn't get anything. She doesn't get any words off. And I fire about 4 times.
Wow. Rhonda Sessler, Trey's mother, was 57 years old. Over the years, she played several supporting roles in Trey's films.
Are you the monster hunter?
That's me.
There's a vicious monster over there in the woods. Could you take care of it?
Of course. Being a sacred monster family fighter has been in my family forever.
Her tragic death marked only the beginning for Trey, whose night of horror was only beginning.
After I did that, I was like, well, I'm already committed, really. Can't really go to my brother and my dad and be like, yeah, I just killed our mom. So I put the 22 down, and I go into the house, and my brother intercepts me in the hallway. He's like, what was that? He's like, I don't know what you're doing out there, but it was really loud. And I don't say anything to him. I just quietly walk past him, go into my room. I pick up my Glock 9mm that's full of TAP PDF hollow point rounds. And I go into the hallway. I pointed at him. He doesn't really click with him what's going on, because I would walk around the house with guns a lot sometimes, and I shoot at him.
See that, and that's
not normal.
That's the thing, bro.
That's not normal to just be
even the amount of guns he had and always had them out and stuff. That's not
playing
normal.
With them like they're toys.
That's not normal, and that would have been the first like sign that all right, some got to give, because there's no way.
On top of hurting the animals would have been enough for me.
Man, I would have before the animals.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying from what we know. I don't know.
At 13, him running around with a
the BB guns.
He had a BB gun with an airsoft on it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever?
No,
you don't know about BB guns stuff.
I just know about the one.
Them bitches. That's bullshit. The one.
That's what I said.
I'm saying, but that one, that's bullshit. The one he had, that's the joint where it fires and it poof, poof. It's like shooting light. You know what I'm saying? And that joint hits. If it hits you, it's stinging you. Like if I pop you with the one, like it's just play. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna pop you. It's gonna pop. You like that hurt. But those, you gonna feel like, you know what I'm saying, somebody really shooting at you.
Yeah, but no, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of wanted to.
We used to play with those when it was one of my old jobs.
But yeah, walking around the house just carrying guns, just playing with guns all day that is not normal at all.
Cause we used to have them joints, and one of them joints, it'll look like this, and they got the canisters, and it shoots. It's like an air compressor, so it's like, When we was at when I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods, we used to like at the end of the shift go and we used to let off some of them joints with
yeah.
And we used to bing bing and be like duck because the motherfucker gonna ricochet.
Going on because I would walk around the house with guns a lot sometimes, and I shoot at him twice. I don't know if I hit him or not. I think I probably did. And he darts into the bathroom and slams the door and locks it. I go up to the door and start kicking at it, but I can't get it open. And about that time, my dad is in bed, and he hears the Glock shots, and he kind of gets up half asleep. He's like, oh, he doesn't know what's going on. So I run in there. I shoot at him a couple times, I think twice.
Wow.
And he goes limp on the bed. I flick the light on, and I see he's got this wound in his neck.
His father, Lawton Sessler, was 58 years old. At this point, Trey's older brother Mark was still hiding in the family bathroom.
So I go back to the bathroom door, and I start shooting through the door. And I shoot through the door probably 5, 6, or 7 times. And I start kicking at the door again. I can't get it open. So I blow the deadbolt out.
Boy, you know how weak your ass really is? You can't kick a door open?
A bathroom door right there.
Boy, I can get this damn door open with the quickness, bruh. You weak as hell. And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people who with this mindset and shit like that be weak. Be some little.
They do. They really do.
Be some little bitches for real, bro.
Off.
And you said what?
It pisses me off. Like you done took your whole family out for what? Cause you wanted to. You want to be
Mr. Big Shit. Tough.
Like I wanted some. I wanted to be noticed. I wanted some recognition. Like what? I don't want that type.
And that's what it really be with a lot of some of these people, especially the ones who do mass shootings. Mm-hmm. They want to be remembered. They want to like my name goes in the record books.
That's sad.
So every time now when somebody look up a mass shooter or somebody who killed the mass killing, they can look me up and my name lives forever.
Do you know also it because it's not even like you face these people like face to face, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like it was like a thing, and nothing was wrong. Like there was no type of reason. Your mom didn't see it coming. Your brother still don't understand what's going on. He didn't really see it coming. Your dad was asleep and had just like he didn't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? He got up because he heard the noise and the commotion. He don't really know what's going on, and you just like. I don't know, man. It's just sad.
Out with 2 shots, I think. I kicked the door open, and my brother's lying there, and this big pile of blood is terrible. It's a bad sight. And I was like, okay. I guess that's got him.
Mark Sessler was only 26 years old. Mark frequently appeared in Trey's early films, often in roles where his character...
And you see the stuff like this, your family supported you with your weird ass.
Facts.
The shit you... And I ain't gonna hold you, at the time, that wasn't what people was doing. You know what I'm saying? YouTube. He was one of the original YouTubers, creating skits and stuff back in like 2009.
He started his channel in 2006.
Like, that's early days of YouTube. Your family supporting you with stuff that really don't make sense because it's not the norm. At that time, that's not the norm.
Right.
Like people doing... What you trying to look them up?
That's what I thought. Yeah. No, I was trying to look up something.
Like people doing content like that wasn't the norm. But your mom has made a guest appearance. Your brother has made a guest appearance. They're trying to show you support. Well, whatever what's his name? Tyler?
Trey.
Trey. Whatever Trey doing, he wants us to be a part of, we'll help out.
Yeah.
You know, if you had just dedicated that energy and that effort into this craft,
all that energy,
you know what you could be right now? You could be Mr. Beast. Because you was original. Even in the anime world. People weren't talking about anime back in 06, 07, 08, 09. Not like this. Not on the scale. Like, it's more relevant now than it has ever been. Like, back in the day, if people talked about anime like him, oh, you one of them weird nerd.
Yeah,
because
I was about to say that. Not saying that people wasn't on it, but I feel like people tried to hide that they was on it for whatever reason.
I'm talking about as far as what I'm saying is when I say wasn't like the popularity of it wasn't as big.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, okay.
I know what you meant, but off of what you had said, that people. What did you say? I just want to make, because I know a lot of people just in school, they used to be on it a lot, but they didn't want people to know that they was on it, but they was on it though, and I'm like,
because the popular kids, and at that time, the popular people, if they caught you with doing anything anime or anything or that, like you a little weird nerd, and so they used to hide it, but now it's more popular and cool, and more people are more prevalent into it now, and so just you was one original, you was like ahead of everybody. And you could have kept going with that, and you could, but you want to be remembered for some weird ass shit. You would have been remembered for that.
For all
from being Mr. Anime,
the great things you wanted to go into film, you could have, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you would have took off.
But no, now you like, hey, well,
and he
that's not happening fast enough for me.
He became weird. He became like psychologically fucked up in his own head with his own thoughts. And you had a love and infatuation with guns and weapons and committing harm to people and seeing them suffer. Because you start off with the animals. Mm-hmm. You start off, you gain, I wonder when did you commit, like do your first whatever you did to any animal.
Like took an animal's life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because even when you were shooting your BB gun at your brother, you were shooting at him trying to harm him. So you already possibly have harmed animals prior to that situation. Mm-hmm. You just didn't have a gun because you was a minor. Because you probably would have took your brother's life then if you could have.
Ain't no telling.
Mark frequently appeared in Trey's early films, often in roles where his character was attacked or killed. Viewed today, these scenes carry...
You hear that? Mm-hmm. His role was normally attacked and killed. Man.
His character was attacked or killed. Viewed today, these scenes carry a haunting weight.
But I will tell you something that Mark told me about a month and a half before everything happened. Uh-huh. And Mark mentioned, he said, don't be surprised if you hear on the news that we've all been killed by Trey.
Was he scared of Trey?
No. It was kind of weird the way, like he didn't really seem afraid at all. Like he almost accepted it.
So I was like, well, since I already shot 3 people.
The family knew something. And they just...
It's just like...
All of them, I feel like sensed it.
It's like any day now, in a sense. Because it's no getting away from him or avoiding him. Like, this is your child. This is your brother.
They know his mentality.
Even though he has moved out, this is still technically his home. He can come and go as he please, right? And even if y'all like, hey, you can't come here because we think whatever the case
would be, drove him do more.
That would have fueled him even more. So it's kind of like, how do you escape?
You don't. You just gotta accept it.
And that's sad to have to think about that any day now. My brother or my son can come in here and take my life.
People. I don't want anyone to be suffering, laying on the floor for hours, moaning and groaning. So I'm like, I gotta retrace with a more powerful weapon and shoot him again.
Trey then stalked through the family home, shooting his mother, father, and brother again with an AR-15. What he'd already done was horrifying. But soon, Trey will confess just how close he came to committing yet another atrocity. For now, Trey recounts what happened next, once the reality of what he'd done began to sink in.
And about that time, it was about 1 o'clock, 12:30 to 1.
And the next morning?
Yes, Monday morning. Mm-hmm. After all that, I just kind of lose it and I start trashing the house because I'm like in another zone, I guess.
That's beyond trashing the house, bro. You see the stove? Literally ripped. Like, this sick mindset as individual. And he's too damn calm, recounting all of this. It's like he's bragging about it.
Throw a couple bookshelves over, throw my dad's TV over, start shooting at the TV, start shooting at the light fixtures, poke some holes in the sheetrock with the AR-15, which you probably knew because there was wall residue on the end of the barrel. Same thing with the Glock. I kind of used it to knock some family pictures and stuff off the wall because I didn't really want to look at him at that time. I shot out some windows toward the woods because as ridiculous as it sounds, even though I just did that to my family, I didn't want to shoot at people's houses. I don't know, because the thing about my family is I would protect them with my life. Like if anyone ever tried to get in there and hurt them, I would go after them real fast. I know this probably sounds real bad, but at the same time, if anyone was going to hurt him, it was going to be me. I'd protect him, but I wouldn't let anyone else get to him. I guess I couldn't protect him.
Because it's more of a selfish thing. If somebody going to hurt them, it's going to be me. I ain't going to let y'all take away my fun. Because those are my easiest targets, is my family. He kind of come off as a little coward-ass bitch.
You done said that already.
My bad. But that's how he comes off. Because he's not bold enough to, like, go... You already said, I really can become a serial killer because I really can't do that. You can't go harm a regular person either because you didn't know if you was going to be able to overpower them or they were going to be able to overpower you. So you really needed somebody that was going to be the easiest target for you.
And that was going to be vulnerable and always had a guard down, which will be your family.
Protecting for myself.
Trey's murderous rampage, however, was far from over. The family had pets.
Yes. I go to my dad's bird cage. He had 2 little finches. And I start shooting at the bird cage with the Glock. And then I took the bird cage and I chunked it as hard as I could against the wall. And I think that got the second one. I'm not sure. I hear my ferret running around in his cage. I totally forgot about it. I was like, I really hate to do this because I really like that little guy.
It's weird looking. I mean, look at this thing. You know, what the hell is this, you know? I mean, yeah, I know it's a ferret, but it's just... I mean, it's pretty adorable. I gotta... Ow. Okay, that's not adorable.
I go in there and I fire a shot at the ferret with the 9mm, and I think that I hit him. And then I go down to my room with the Glock still in my hand, and I have a cichlid fish in a 20-gallon fish tank. So I fire once, and the whole fish tank just blows out. And then I go back to the garage, and I kind of look at my mom, and I'm like, I sit next to her, and I'm just kind of sitting there. I don't know if I dozed off or not.
At some point during the chaos, Trey scrawled messages across the walls and doors of the family home. They read, "I'll never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this. God help me. I love my mom, dad, and brother." Though the media speculated as to the motives behind his callous attack, Trey would later explain what he believes ultimately led to the tragedy. For now, he continues his account, stating that by noon, police had not arrived despite the sounds of gunfire.
So I finally decided I've had enough of the house because this was just front to back shrouded in, death, like a cloud of death. And I was just like, every time I looked at everything, it was just worse and worse.
Trey placed phone calls to each of his parents' workplaces, the elementary school where his father was a teacher, and the Waller Times newspaper where his mother worked, claiming they were sick. Then he left the home in his black GT Mustang, and with a car filled with firearms, ammunition, and a case of beer, Trey drove to the parking lot of the Waller Junior High School.
And I'm sitting there, and I have it timed to where it's about 2:45. It's time for school to let out. And I see the flood of people going, and I'm just kind of staring at them. And I'm like, there's my opportunity. Go ahead, go get them. You have an AR-15 in the back with 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 rounds. And I'm even sitting there drinking my beers, watching. And obviously, as you guys know, I don't do anything. I would have done it if I would have wanted to do that.
Cause you too much of a to even do it. Cause that, even though you had that mindset, bro, you
And I did not do that because maybe it was just what happened was too real.
Trey left the school parking lot with no one realizing how narrowly they escaped disaster. Afterward, he drove to his friend Casey's house, where he spent the night. The next evening, police surrounded the home.
He goes outside, and I go outside, and I have my Glock in my hand, and it's loaded, ready to fire, I think, because I'm like, well, it's obvious that there's going to be about 50 people or whatever descending on me. And then I noticed that Casey's standing next to me, and I'm like, well, if I start shooting, there's a 100%.
That ain't got shit to do with the way you. Again, the only people that was truly gonna be your target was your family. It wasn't because Casey was standing next to you. It was merely the fact that, damn, I can't really pull this, you know? Same way with the kids at the school. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
And I will thank God he didn't.
But no, I'm just saying because you had all these thoughts, but also you a little bitch. I'm not saying because I know some people could take that out of context, but dude, the only person you honestly was your biggest problem was yourself. Mm-hmm. You were your own problem because you was stuck inside your own head. And that's all it was. I don't know if your parents allowed you to watch like serial killers, things as a kid, because your infatuation of creating these little short films of people dying and you killing and hunting down people, that can be alarming for some people.
Yeah.
Because you had too much of an infatuation with that and using real guns.
Possibility, I can safely say that me and probably Casey are going to get hit by police gunfire. And once again, there was no reason for anyone else to get hurt. So I take the Glock and throw it into the grass and give it up. And then I get apprehended.
Though many details of the tragedy had fallen into place, one question still lingered that could only be answered by Trey himself.
I mean, do you have any idea what set you off?
No. There wasn't any kind of argument. I can safely say that. I guess too much exposure to violence had built up over all the things that I had like shot and all that stuff.
But why them? Why your mom, your dad, and your brother?
Easiest targets.
I guess I could maybe because they were the first immediate human targets.
He don't want to even admit to it. They were your easiest targets. They was going to be the ones that wouldn't put up, you can catch easily off guard and they don't see it coming. And they not necessarily will not fight back, but you can have the upper hand on them where they are unable to. Because, you couldn't even have them all around each other at the same time. You had to give them in separate areas of the home. You had to lure your mom, your brother in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? Because could you do it when all of them there in the living room together? Hell no, because they would have overpowered you. Because you're weak.
Unless it was another thing where you caught them off guard, where they
True.
are not
True.
watching you or looking, or you catch them from the back, or y'all just sitting there watching television or whatever case may be, and you just it's always going to be.
Because your easiest targets is going to always be the ones who never see it coming as far as family. You can't going out and going to a grocery store. That's still not an easy target because you don't know who's prepared for what, and so you just got But going at home, going around family and stuff, who gonna automatically have your you go back home. You don't be on defense mode with your family. These are the people you let your guard down the most. I'm around family. These are the people I love. I'm not expecting them to do anything.
Well, not fine.
Come on now. Even that you're gonna let your guard down.
Just playing, but yeah. Yeah.
In my sight. Well, I read a report. I don't know how they got that information, but they said that I claimed that I did all that because I wanted to spare them the embarrassment or whatever. Or that's not really accurate. I guess they were just targets of opportunity, I guess.
Was it something you fantasized about doing and then kind of thought, hell, I'll do it.
I had never fantasized about murdering my family. No. It was premeditated maybe an hour before it happened, or 30 minutes before it happened. But if I would have woke up that day and y'all would have come to me and asked me, are you going to kill your family tonight, I would definitely have said no.
On March 21st, 2012, one day after his arrest, Trey called his grandmother, who just lost her son, and his Aunt Liz, who lost a beloved brother.
I don't know, Grandma. I just wanted to apologize.
Well,
for what I did to your son.
if you believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and are really sincere, God will forgive you.
I don't know what to say. I know you loved your brother.
I did.
I love my dad.
It blew us away what you did. We don't understand it, but we still love you.
My whole family is dead. I'm so sorry.
I know you are.
I don't think God will ever forgive me.
His Aunt Liz visited Trey in jail on April 8th.
This still sound like manipulation. It don't sound like 100, because when you was talking to the detective, it was more like, oh, I'm bragging, I'm being boastful about my actions while I describe it to y'all and the reason why everything happened. And I want the details to come from me and no one else, right? Because I want people to know my story through me and no one else. There was no remorse in your voice. There was no sympathy for what you put your family through. Mm-hmm. But I need to. So this is the grandma that's still alive on your dad's side. This is that you still got to touch with that family. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the mom family, right? So I need somebody who can still put some money on my books. Mm-hmm. I still need some people in my corner. I didn't kill out my family, immediate family. I still need somebody to help me out and look out for me. Selfishness still.
Easter Sunday, where she was left haunted by his spine-chilling words.
And he says, Aunt Liz, I don't want you to be disappointed in me. And then he voluntarily, out of the blue, clear sky, said, Aunt Liz, I just want you to know that they did not suffer. And his whole voice changed from sweet to, I made sure of that.
22-year-old Trey Eric Sessler was ultimately charged with 3 counts of capital murder. On August 2, 2012, after entering a plea of guilty on all counts, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. He's currently being held at the CT Terrell Unit in Rocheron, Texas.
This is Trey Sessler, or as you know me, Mr. Anime, signing out. Goodbye, my friends.
Iwu reached out to Trey for an interview. He responded in 2024, stating he has no new information to offer and suggesting there are far more interesting stories than his, adding, the memories associated with what I was involved in are best left alone. Trey's YouTube channel, LensCap Productions, remained active for 8 years following the murders until it was removed from the platform in 2020. It was later reinstated, where it remains active at the time of this video.
Still shows signs of arrogance, boastfulness, and braggadocious about his crimes. I made sure that.
Rest in peace to Rhonda, Mark, and Lawton. I think that's yeah, and his father, the father as well. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it correctly because that's just.
Like even the way he talked to his aunt after the fact,
They didn't suffer. I made sure of that. Like, huh? Like, that statement alone. Like, what?
And even when Iwu reached out to him, there's way more interesting stories out there. But, bro, he still has that same fucking mindset. And this was 2024. The crime happened back in 2012. So over 10 years later, he's what, 30? He was.
I don't know.
22 at the time of the murders.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
So I'm trying to do the calculations. 32 and 22. He's probably about 35 now, give or take. He still ain't learned. He still got the same mindset. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you this, because at the end of the day, he's still a little coward-ass bitch That's the reason why he pled guilty. And he didn't try to fight it. He pled guilty so he can stay alive. He's not ready to die.
Yeah.
But you can pick and choose somebody when somebody else should die. But you like, I ain't ready to die yet. Because you're afraid of what's waiting for you on the other side. That he wasn't gonna shoot out with the police. That was a fucking excuse. Was Casey being there beside him? That was an excuse. He's too much of a coward to want to go in the shootout with the police. Even him pleading guilty so he can get life, because he was in Texas. He was gonna get the death penalty. It's Texas, baby. You killed your parents like that, and the animals and stuff. Oh, they were gonna get you. But you was scared, and so you was like, I'm willing to take a. Because they always, majority of the time, every case they offer you a plea. Majority every case, you can either plead out, or you can take it to trial. I pled guilty, so I won't get the death penalty. Yeah. I'm okay with doing life here. I am not okay with dying. That's what happened. My bad. That was my shoes. Crazy, man. Crazy. Hey, y'all spam us up. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below, man. But until next time, y'all know how it go. Oh, did you have anything else you want to say? I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are. We out.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar.